Hey guys, good morning. We're here for another Get Ready With Me, and we have a lot to chat about. So grab a cup of coffee and let's get going. So I am going to talk about some things that I actually bought recently, and they were well within my budget, and they're not things, okay? So I do have in my budgeting spreadsheet that I created myself a category for entertainment. And that was there just in case I wanted to buy tickets to a show or some event. I do live in New York City, so there is a lot going on. And I'm always looking for things for Joe and I to do. We go out and enjoy some fun New York style activities which involve shows. And earlier this month, we went to an opera, Porgy and Bess, at the Met, and I did a video of that where we were sitting and the tour of the place with some of the paintings and art pieces that they have. This is a Vichy vitamin C. It's very interesting because it has like a little top, and then you just kind of drop her. Yeah, I'm gonna try this one. I do like the brand Vichy. I actually found it in Germany. Deodorant. I think it smells wonderful, and it does a very good job of being a roll-on because I'm not into roll-ons. So, and it cost me $5. Here, it's not $5. It's over 20. But one of my mother-in-law, my father-in-law's wife, for one, they're going to Italy, and so she is very kindly offered to buy me something at the airport international. So I told her Vichy deodorant. Okay, anyway. So we went to Porgy and Bess. I get so off topic. We went to see Porgy and Bess. It was an opera. It was a Christmas present for myself and Joe. And this is kind of like the Christmas presents I like to give, which are experiences and opportunities for us to explore something together that we can share, right? Building up our experiences to remember later on. You know, it's not just about being married, living together, and just, you know, sharing expenses and talking. It's about actually doing something new together and experiencing that together. That actually grows relationships, in my view. So I think it's important to incorporate those things, and not just dinner out, but an experience. So Porgy and Bess, we went to see that. That I bought, I want to say at the end of November. So that was an experience for January, and I was actually talking to a friend of mine at school. Her name is Kristen. She mentioned this sumo wrestling and sushi experience happening in New York City. It's for 3 days only. It's like a sumo tour. And so you go to a wrestling match where they kind of talk to you about the basics of sumo wrestling, how the wrestlers train. And there is, you know, tactics, how they strategize, how they tactically wrestle, the rules. Then they actually do performance wrestling. So this is not like real matches per se, but it's demonstrations. So it's more an entertainment than it is an actual, you know, true wrestling match. But whatever, it's fun. It's fun. I've never done anything like that before. I know it's Joe and I actually, it was so funny. We were talking about it because we saw wrestling world tour, like an actual wrestling world championship that was happening that you could watch live on some, you know, channel that you had to pay for, whatever. And we were like, this is interesting. I've never seen commercials for sumo wrestling. And then boom, the next day, Kristen talks about this wrestling match coming. So I have this, I think it's called Dr. Hanushka eye cream sample that I got in Germany months ago. And I just recently opened it, and I'm just, you know, these little samples, especially for eye creams, you need like a drop for eye cream. So when you get a sample for eye cream, unlike face cream, even though there's the same amount, you're using significantly less for the eye cream, and therefore it lasts longer. So whenever you're asking for samples for skincare for places, definitely ask for eye ones, because before you buy your next little jar of eye cream, you can actually spend a lot of time going through a little packet. Just a side note, side note. So anyway, so I said, you know what, that would be awesome. And I did already book a dinner for Valentine's Day at this Italian place in Greenpoint. Highly recommend. It's called Scalino GP. And it's like home style, home cooking Italian, cuisine. And it's in a cute little cozy restaurant. Fairly unknown, highly rated, and not that expensive. I've gone there twice and it's been excellent both times. My food and my husband's food. And last time I went with my mom, and we got a bunch of side dishes, and those were excellent as well. So yeah, you can find a lot of really cute under the radar restaurants in New York. So don't skip out on those. Don't just look at the highest rating on TripAdvisor or whatever. Or, like the classics that are super expensive because they cater to tourists. Find the out of the way corner places. Anyway, so how did I find that? I just walked down the street and I said, oh, this looks cute. Let's go in here. So I didn't look it up. I actually had to come across it, but you don't have to come across it because I'm telling you, go to Scalino GP, Greenpoint, Brooklyn. I think it's on Manhattan Avenue. So anyway, so I booked dinner there for Valentine's Day for me and Joe. And then this came up and I said, oh my God, this would be a great little event. It was only from the February 13th to the 15th. And it is, if you do the sushi dinner with the sumo wrestling show, the viewing, it was like $200, which is expensive, right? But it's a dinner and a show. I sort of get it. That is the price of things in New York City. But I figured, you know what? The show that we're going to, or that I looked up, they have two options, 5 o'clock and an 8:30. I think the 8:30 is late enough that we can go and get some sushi at a nearby Japanese place, enjoy that, and then go to the show. Because 8:30, they're not going to serve you dinner at 8:30. That's when you start, you sit down and the things begin. Usually they'll wait a little while before serving. So we probably wouldn't be eating until 8:45, 9 p.m. And that's too late for me. I don't eat dinner that late. And I don't want to go to a 5:30 showing because I won't make it. I work. I work until 4 or 5 o'clock. So yeah, so I think I just ordered the show, which is $140 with tax, service fee, and everything was like $150, 150 something. So all in all, for 2 tickets, $269 for Joe and I to go. And so that is why my entertainment budget is $300, because if I use it, I'm getting to that 300 most likely. Like setting aside $100 for entertainment doesn't make sense for me in New York. So it's $269. I budgeted $300 in entertainment for the month of January. So now that is pretty much full. I do have probably, as you imagine, like about $30 left over. That could be towards the sushi. But that's for February. So that's part of February's dinner budget. So I'll probably I'm not going to buy any other events. Like, that's fine. That event is fine. I am going out tonight with my friend Laura to enjoy Restaurant Week, which is a week, 2 weeks in New York. It happens like twice a year, once in the winter, like now, at the end of January through February, and then at the end of July through August. So Restaurant Week is when certain restaurants, usually including some top-notch ones, offer a menu for a fixed price, and it's supposed to be a reasonable price. Now they do offer lunch and dinner. So this year's dinner price is $45. That means all the restaurants, big and small, are offering a prefix dinner, appetizer, entree, and dessert for $45. That's the deal. And it's supposed to encourage people to go, right? Especially if you want to try some of these new high-end restaurants and you normally wouldn't really be able to go. This is a way to do it. Lunch is less expensive, maybe $30. Now, $30 for lunch is expensive, but it is a bougie lunch. Like, it's like a dinner style lunch. So that could be your big event date of the day. Like, I wouldn't see it as like trying to get a lunch menu, like a soup and salad or like a sandwich. They're going to offer a meal. It's just during the day. So yeah, so I'm gonna go with her to a Mexican restaurant that's high end here in New York called Cosme. Cosme. I've never been there, but I have heard about it, and I've heard it's very good. So we're gonna go tonight for restaurant week. She reminded me that that was happening, and I think that will cost me $45, obviously. So it's gonna be above the $30, but it's okay. It's going to be part of my dining out, and dining out is still well under budget. Although today I'm going to lunch with some friends. So I might have to mix in the entertainment leftover amount with the dining out for this month to cover it. I don't anticipate going out again until next week. With my friend Christy. So that might also be some money. So we'll have to see where I'm at and then where I can take money from to kind of balance that out. I do allow myself that. Some people don't in their budget. It's like, this is how much I'm going to spend and that's it. I can't borrow from another category. I'm not going to be that strict because part of something that keeps us happy or keeps me happy, especially in wintertime, which tends to be a very like dark and depressing time, is these human connections. And sometimes it's just easier for us to meet somewhere and have dinner because we work full time and we need to eat. So we're trying to combine eating with getting together. Yes, there are ways around it, but the reality is that I'm not going to impose my budgeting on my friend who may not necessarily need it. So I will be flexible in that regard. Dining by myself, different story. Here are my sunscreens for the day. I'm trying to get rid of this one. I'm trying to use this one up because this is a bronzer, but it's really too dark. I'm not liking too much how it fits on my face, but I have to use it up. And it's going to take me a million years. I think it's going to take me another year to do this one. I am going away. So to make like I got some sun tan, I might use it, but anyway, I don't know if it comes out. So yeah, so there's that. Another thing I did was I bought a chain. I'm gonna show you. So I don't know if you remember, but this is an item that I bought from Amazon. I bought this gift set from Christian Dior. It's a makeup gift set for their holiday. And I mean, I was walking with it to the car to do my makeup in the car in the morning. And I know you can't see it now, but I was walking down the street and the sunlight was hitting. This was all a shimmer. It's like gold threading. I can't make it come up. It was just sparkling. It was so beautiful. I said, wow, I do not need a sequins or shiny Chanel bag. I'm going to use this. Nobody knows, not nobody, but very few people are actually looking at what Christian Dior, anybody I know, Christian Dior came out with their holiday. This could very easily be a bag, very easily. So I bought a chain that I'm going to attach, and then a smaller pearl one to kind of jazz it up, or at least have the option to jazz it up. If not, I'll use it on another bag. And I'm going to use this as my cute little bag for like fancy nights out. Now, no, it's not the greatest quality, but it shimmers and shines so much that you can't tell that it's not the best quality unless I open it and show you. So if I open it, and this might be a pain in the butt to use because it has to be flat like this. Then you can see like the plastic interior. So here are all my things, but you can kind of see that this is like this. But I'm like, I don't need to spend money on like a Chanel sequence bag right now. I'm gonna push it off. I pushed off the tweed and I'm pushing off the sequence bag. So do I have a bag I'm buying right now? No, I'm not. I'm still working on, I'm still waiting for that Paddington, and I'm still working on getting my money back for the Paddington that never showed up and this garden party that I got, but I'm really upset. I didn't really want it anymore. And I'm really upset that they are not giving me my money back because they're reshipping it without my permission. They ask me if I want them to reship it, but then they don't wait for my response. I talked about this before, so I'm kind of pissed off because they just did it anyway, just to avoid giving me back the money. I'm not gonna fight it too hard because at the end of the day, I did get the bag, but I'm gonna see how far I can take it. In terms of finding hobbies, so like, I think something that I'm looking to my old self in my 30s. I literally had no money, and I had to find things to do, or I did things, not realizing that I was just trying to find something to do that was not shopping. And I'm so glad that it didn't occur to me to be shopping, because I really would have ruined myself. And I'm seeing a lot of people like looking for hobbies and things to do, and I'm like, I didn't know that people consider shopping a hobby. I would have never done shopping because I only shopped when I needed something, and I didn't really do any online shopping. I always went in person, and I think that was a big help. I'm using my nails, so I got these like little press-on nails that I bought from Amazon a while ago, a couple of months ago, and I'm just using them now. BT Art Box, I think, has the most realistic looking like nude for the, your base of your nail. And they have the best sizing for my type of fingers. So I got some other ones that I just didn't like the shape of the nail. I didn't like the way it fit on my nail. It changed the shape of my natural nail growth, made it rounder or flatter or fatter. And BT Art Box on Amazon is the best one for me. So I bought these a while ago because I'm not going to the salon to get my nails done. So speaking of hobbies, this is part of it, all right? Is like finding ways to solve your problems without using money. And I made doing my nails a hobby. I sit down once or twice a week and I put on a show or a podcast, or I watch a sports game, and I clean my nails. I do my own like cuticles, and I put balms and things, and the balms and the items last forever. Like I bought some nail creams January last year, and I still have them. I have nail polishes. They last a long time, especially if you have quite a few, which I've collected over the years. Some of them will dry out, obviously, but I just do my own nails. And then when the edges chip, I just take off the paint midway through the week and I just repaint it. But I do my full cleanup of the skin around the nails, maybe once a week or once every other week. It's a lot of fun. It's meditative, and I don't spend money, and I'm killing time. And when I say killing time, and I put quotes because I'm not trying to like wish my life away. I'm trying to do things that give me some mental space to process the day's events or things that have happened and just shut my mind down a little bit, right? Especially after like a long day at school. I'm just using this red color as lip liner because I forgot to bring my other, I don't know that this goes, but whatever. No. Mm-mm. It's okay. I'm gonna drink coffee and that's gonna, my lipstick is gonna go away anyway. So that's something I do. And then when I want beautiful, fun, long nails, I just get the press-ons. These are like $12 to $14. You can get cheaper ones. There's some that sell for $6, $8. So yeah, and they're actually good quality. This will last me like a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks if I take care of it. Maybe I just have to reglue one or two here or there. It's excellent quality. So yeah, you're not wasting your money for sure. And you're not spending something like this in nail art would cost me over $100 at a nail salon. I'm not spending that kind of money on fancy nail art. I'm not doing it. And I don't think you should either. I don't think it's worth it. I think we can kill two birds in one stone, meditate, have something relaxing to do, and self-care. Another one I do that I notice that people are not talking about, and I think this ties into the big picture, and that is manual labor as a hobby. And when I say manual labor, is that you're working with your hands at something or something more rigorous. So people talk about exercising, working out, dance routines, cooking, all of this. And cooking is not, I wouldn't say manual labor, but if you're cutting up all your vegetables, you're kind of like on the stove, you're, diligently looking over the food, that could be considered. Or like doing sewing, that's manual, that's dexterous. It's not on the phone hobbies. I think that's what I'm talking about. I also do cleaning. And I know people don't consider cleaning a hobby, but hear me out. I will, if I'm bored, or when I had no money and I was bored and I needed to do something with my time, I'm like, what can I do? I'm like, oh, I have this drawer full of stuff. Let me just reorganize it. And I would take everything out. I would look through it. And of course, I would declutter what I needed to declutter and clean it out in depth. Wipe it down. I'd wipe the sides of my cabinets and I'd put things back. I would do that for like closets. I would do that for sections of my kitchen or a whole shelf. I'd be like, you know what? I'm going to take everything off. Everything comes off. Everything. Wipe everything down, and then on my bed or on our table, look through the items and slowly putting it back and redistributing things, changing up the look, changing up how my house looks, rearranging the furniture. Oh, I think this might look good here. And I turn this around and I wouldn't call it a game per se, making a game out of organizing and cleaning and taking care. But it did tap into a creativeness that I think we should be kind of exploring more. And it made me very into keeping things neat, organized, and non-clutter, and not keep things I don't want. So it taught me, I taught myself in a way, how to be a minimalist and how to keep the things I really want. And by doing this, I also learned about the things I really wanted. And, you start looking at this almost like Marie Kondo style and be like, do I really love this? Do I really want this? When you start looking at how beautiful and neat things look without too much stuff, you're like, oh, wait, I kind of like it. I like it like this. And then I start looking at things. I'm like, do I really want that actually? So reorganizing, cleaning, okay, and yeah, doing my own nails. Cooking was a big one, and of course I cooked out of necessity, but I learned to cook out of joy, and I made all my own food. I bought very cheap things in the groceries to fill in the other items. So I bought a lot of sweet potato. I bought a lot of eggs. I bought fruit. What else did I buy? Any vegetables that were on sale. Broccoli, mushrooms. Mushrooms can be expensive, but peppers, not the expensive ones, the cheapo ones. And then I just do roasted vegetables with, like, sweet potato. And then fill it in with some chicken. So my main meal were these like staples that weren't that expensive, and that would stretch out some of my other items. Anyway, I don't really have a lot of stuff for my eyes right now. And of course, reading. I'm trying to read a little bit every day. I'm reading currently a book called Cabal by Clive Barker. And I know Clive Barker did a lot of like very popular series. He did the Hellraiser series, which when it became a movie. And so I figured he was a good writer. And it's not bad. I'm not into the book. I don't know. There's something it's not my style. But whatever, I'm going to read it. Because it's not terrible. I have dropped books before, but I don't necessarily drop a book just because I'm not like 1,000% in it. It makes me appreciate the good books even more. And I want to go back to the cooking. A lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to eat greens, or I don't want to eat this or that or whatever because I don't really like it. I don't like to eat that. I don't want to eat it. I always live by the motto, and I taught this to Sophia. You don't need to enjoy everything you eat. You don't need to enjoy everything you eat. Like sometimes you eat things because they're good for you. And that's an important revelation, I think, that I had at some point, where I'm like, oh, I don't really like it. It's okay, but I can eat it, and I should be eating it because it's good for me. Let's say I'm not crazy about beets. I'm not crazy about certain vegetables. I can't think of it off the top of my head. I'm not peppers, chickpeas. I learned to appreciate chickpeas, but I really didn't like them. But I ate them. Or greens, kale, Swiss chard, collard greens. I was like, ugh, now I like them. But I didn't like them before. But I ate them because I knew they were good for me. So I've learned to differentiate between eating for health and eating for joy. And so we have to be able to balance that. And if we're just focusing on things we love all the time, we're not going to be healthy. And the next point I'm going to bring up is supplements. People tend to buy a lot of supplements because they think they have all these items that is not, they think they need more of. If you eat a healthy, balanced diet with a lot of greens, a lot of healthy meats and proteins, a variety of foods, you will get everything you need from the food you eat. You do not need to buy supplements. Supplements would be for any type of deficiencies that you have. I think supplements is very helpful for that, or something that you want to boost on specifically for that time frame. But as an everyday thing, if you eat healthy, you get everything you need. And I stopped buying daily vitamins and all these other things that honestly you just get too much of in your system, and your body will just flush it out. You're literally just throwing your money away. So I stopped buying that. I just focus on eating a variety of food, very healthy, colorful food and meats. So yeah, I think I'm gonna stop for today with the face. What do you think? Today's just a relaxing day at work. Nothing's really happening, so me going nuts does not make sense. In fact, I don't know if I'm gonna wear like maybe little huggies. I already have this. This one I bought at the Christmas fair a while ago. And I have this necklace, which was the necklace bracelet, about $50, $60. It is beautiful and it's very good quality. I enjoy it quite a bit. So yeah, I'm gonna get ready for work, and I hope you enjoyed. And it was a long one, it was a chatty one, but I think it was a good one. So I'll talk to you soon, and bye.